Oh, welcome back, guys, to the B.Jr.'s horrific Halloween. That's right, it marches on. I'm back here in the Fortress of Solitude. Had a little time to do another video for you today during the Halloween season. It's getting right there at it. It's the 2-week mark, right about before Halloween, where the leaves are changing color. The cool fall air is going out there. The whole atmosphere is just flowing. Today's subject is going to be on that of an Italian flavor. There's an abundance of Italian horror movies out there, guys. And you can't have any Italian horror movies in your collection without saying the name Lucio Fulci. That's right. We're going to talk about Fulci films today. Not all his films or anything like that. What I've done today is I'm here to educate you on the basics of Fulciness, okay? Fulci was around for eons. Lucio Fulci was an Italian filmmaker, mostly a director. He did produce a lot of projects too. He made all kinds of films, anything from westerns to sword and sorcery, of course horror. Horror is basically what he was most known for in his later years, mainly because he kind of got like the John Carpenter thing. Unbeknownst to most people, John Carpenter did about every genre of film, but he's most well known for his horror stuff, just like Fulci. So Fulci basically is one of those Italian horror directors that really went for it in terms of gore and lingering on any kind of wild. He incorporated all kinds of wild style. He was always a little more gritty than say your Argento films like Dario Argento. Dario Argento was always real high style, lighting and all that kind of real artistic side of it, whereas Fulci was real gritty, down and dirty, just nasty effects, just kind of ramshackle, didn't really care as far as quality of picture and sound. Almost all his films released to the American market were dubbed, so it was just kind of like he had this real low budget feel, but yet there was something going on the gore side of it, special effects, and the horror side of his films that really done very well over the years. So he sadly is not with us anymore. May he rest in peace. Just to give you kind of an idea, I picked not only, just to kind of give you an idea here, he did westerns. He did Four of the Apocalypse, which is one that's in my collection I really enjoy. Highly recommend that one. This is just to give you a different flavor of what he did. Contraband, the good mob film that he did. Just about any of these releases from Anchor Bay or Blue Underground that's been re-released of his are pretty good additions. Contraband, pretty good mob film. Imagine the gore of Fulci's horror films mixed into the world of the mobsters. And there's your mob film. Conquest, can't recommend this one to everybody. It's not even really a great sword and sorcery one. It's kind of that good and that bad way. Very hokey effects, but it's also got good gore in it, just like a horror movie. But I don't know. I really enjoy Conquest in that good way, kind of goofy. That's enough with this, guys. Just giving you a flavor giving you a little taste of Fulci's background there. He does all kinds of films, or he did all kinds of films. Here's a few that I picked at random from the collection. Now he's done other films that are not going to be in this batch. Just to name a few that are in that kind of horror genre that are decent watches by him is Don't Torture a Duckling is a good old school one that he did. Kind of light on the gore, but it's a decent. It kind of gives you the building blocks of what he would do later in some of these films. The Psychic is another good one. Can't say that one's really to everybody's taste, but I really enjoy it. It's got Jennifer O'Neill from Scanners in it, and a couple other ones. Cat in the Brain is a later one that he did. I don't actually have that one. Cat in the Brain is one of the few Fulci films I don't have in my collection. But I can honestly say Cat in the Brain is kind of one of these picture within a picture or movie within a movie kind of films. Really wild, really weird. Gore is balls to the wall gore in that one. I could probably say pick that one up and watch that one. But watch these first. These are the few that I picked at random. These are kind of like the required reading of Fulciness. That if you want to be a pimp of Fulciness, you have to watch these films first, okay? I always tell people, if you want to start your Fulci collection or if you want to start watching Fulci films, always start with Zombie. Blue Underground, I think last year, put out this real good 2-disc Ultimate Edition with a slip cover. Makes me feel special. It's got tons of special features on it. Zombie is probably one of the best films to start with Fulci. Probably that or Don't Torture a Duckling. One of those earlier ones, earlier works like this before you wade into some of the other better ones. Zombie's a great one, but it's not really my favorite film he ever did. It's got an awesome little kind of low-key music score in the movie, and the gore is just. I've always said this. Now a lot of people are gonna just hound me off the YouTube for saying this. I'm a huge George Romero, Dawn of the Dead fan. Okay, I got this huge poster back there and everything. Yes, it's a zombie classic. This is also a zombie classic. This is where it breaks down. In terms of big scope and movie overall experience, yes, Dawn of the Dead is a better movie. Zombie, the makeup, the zombies in this film look 10 times better than the ones in Dawn of the Dead. Okay, I said it. I'm sorry. Now, before you guys start yelling and screaming at the screen, the special effects, like the beheading scenes, the head exploding scenes in Dawn of the Dead and stuff like that, are better than this film. Like the squibs and all that kind of stuff they created for that movie. The zombies in this movie look just dirty and nasty and just gritty and just, I mean, look at that. There's Wormface right there. That's the way he looks in the movie. That's not been touched up at all. That's nasty. I mean, what else can you say about that? I love the tagline. We are going to eat you. I mean, it just says it all, guys. Another required reading favorite of Fulci is The House by the Cemetery. Again, Blue Underground at their best last year put this one out. I think this is a single disc, but it's loaded with special features on the Blu-ray. Both of these Blu-rays look great, by the way. I can't say enough about them. I think I did reviews on these or unboxings last year. If you want to watch those, go back in time and go back to my other videos. Anyway, House by the Cemetery, great atmospheric horror movie. Now, I wouldn't go as far to say this is a full-on zombie movie that he did, although it does have some zombie stuff going on in it. It's more like a old-school ghost story Frankensteinish kind of movie with Italian flair and Italian gore in it. There's a incredibly hokey flying Attack of the Bats scene in this movie. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. Some slasher goodness from him in a different kind of way. It's an Italian slasher, more like a giallo, but it's got that weird Fulci feel to it. It's the New York Ripper. I've always championed this film. This is kind of one of those things where I think about 60% of horror film buffs like this movie, that like Italian horror, I should say. And about 40% of people don't like it that I run into. About 6 out of every 10 like it. It's because the killer's weird. He does this weird Daffy Duck voice and like quacks at girls as he's killing them and stuff like that. The gore is top notch in this film. There's a lot of those ooh kind of moments where you're just watching it and you're kind of like, oh God, he's not going to do, oh, he did it. Okay. It's just one of those kind of films. So if you're looking for a good slasher to watch in an Italian vein of films, New York Ripper will not disappoint. Here's one I was kind of on the fence about putting in here, but I like it. This is one of those camps divided, even in Fulci pimpdom. Some people like this film, some people do not. The Black Cat, I like it. I can honestly say I'm a Black Cat lover. I don't know why. I love the music score in this movie. The gore is okay in it. Just his take on the Black Cat that really makes me enjoy it. Had to stick that one in there. Guys, got a couple of Arrow editions here for you. These are just another required reading ones. If you're gonna start with Fulci films, you gotta include these in your list. City of the Living Dead, Arrow edition. That's right, the 2-disc Ultimate Edition. Guys, if you're gonna pick this up, and if you don't want to buy the stateside versions, seek out the Arrow release. It's awesome. You got it. The zombies in this, it's just great atmosphere. Gotta love it. Check it out. Pound for pound, my favorite Fulci horror movie of all time. It's where all the stars align, everything comes together. Lucio Fulci's The Beyond on Arrow Special Edition. Tons of special features on this one, guys. But I honestly can say this is where, like, he took the building. In my opinion, he took the building blocks from like all these other earlier films in terms of gore, story, atmosphere, and kind of just put them all together in one movie. That's the way The Beyond feels to me. And you got like a ghost story angle in this one. You got zombies. You got over the top gore. And in fact, it's just one of those that just where everything kind of aligned and everything came together. The interesting thing about The Beyond, I don't think it was released stateside until the late 90s. I mean, you couldn't watch The Beyond even on an old VHS tape. Like, for example, City of the Living Dead for the longest time at the mom and pop video stores went by Gates of Hell video, or the U.S. version of that. The Beyond, I don't think was available for the longest time on home video or DVD or anything. So anyway, I can honestly say if you're going to buy this one, try to seek out the Arrow version because it's got tons of special features on it. Got a cool little poster in there. It's just an awesome horror movie. I mean, it's got a little bit of everything. It's got great, I think I've said this before, atmosphere, music. The music score in this movie is awesome. I mean, pound for pound, if I'm going to watch a Fulci horror film for the rest of my life, give me The Beyond. I'm sorry. I'm just a hopeless Beyond follower. That's just where I come out. Guys, this has been my ramshackle Fulci film recommendation video. That's why I say I always try to work some kind of Italian flavor into my Halloween viewing picks, I guess you would say it. Usually I'll pick one Fulci film every year, New York Ripper, or just grab one off the shelf because it just don't feel like Halloween or fall time without watching a Fulci film at some point in your lineup. Dudes, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Leave your comments, questions, concerns below, and I'll try to address them accordingly. Rock on. Have a safe and happy Halloween. Eat lots of candy. Brush your teeth. Comb your hair. And remember to go to school on time. No, so take care, guys. Bye.